I've been in the Libertarian movement for a little more than 8 years now. I've been involved in politics for roughly 20 years. I've thought long and hard about strategy, and I've surrounded myself with friends and acquaintances who've done the same. I'm an activist as well, as you heard in the introduction. And that means that I've experimented and failed. I don't happen to believe there's any shame in failure. Thomas Edison failed more than 2,000 times before he invented the light bulb. Should he have been embarrassed? Well, I've had my share of failures, but I'm no Tom Edison. I don't feel that I have the time to fail 2,000 times. So that's why I've tried to learn from the failures of others as well. As a result, I'm convinced that I've discovered the two most important strategic imperatives we need to pursue in order to make our movement successful. But there's one other thing I want to discuss with you here today, a pitfall. And boy, is it a doozy. You see, I believe this pitfall has been perhaps the greatest cause of our disappointments. Have you ever had anyone ask you, why isn't the Libertarian Party bigger? Or why aren't there more libertarians in Washington, D.C.? I mean, the movement, the party have been around for more than 30 years. So why does it seem like you're marching through quicksand? Government continues to grow and grow and grow. Well, I can blame a host of outside factors, from rude libertarians to stupid voters to bad laws. But the problem with blaming any of those factors or others is that they leave me powerless. I don't want to be powerless. I don't want to be a victim. How about you? Do you want to be a victim, or do you want to grab the reins? If you refuse to be a victim, then may I humbly suggest that blaming others or circumstances is paralyzing to us. Without hope, the people perish, and their cause perishes with them. We must focus on what we can control. That's why I want you to remember the pitfall that I'm going to share with you today. And that pitfall is only going to be 4 words long. Now, would you like to know what those 8 words are? Grab a pen, because even though we're only talking about 8 words, I don't want you to forget them. Some of you are like me. If your spouse or significant other is with you, you'll forget them if you don't. Okay. Everybody ready for those, as it was 8 magical words? 4 and 4. 4 and 4. The first set of words is more libertarians. Now that might seem obvious, but as my friend Michael Cloud would say, obvious is often overlooked. The first set of words is more libertarians. The second set of words is Operation Everywhere. Now bear with me, and I tend to explain every one of these things in detail for you. The second set of words is Operation Everywhere. The pitfall, the set of 4 words, is Random Acts of Liberty. It's a phrase coined by Bill Winter, Random Acts of Liberty. In these 8 words, I believe I've landed on a set of objectives, as well as a major pitfall to avoid, that can and will navigate us to our goal of a libertarian America. Now, do you all remember what the first set of words was?
More libertarians.
That's fantastic. Apparently the reports about the effects of marijuana and short-term memory. That's right, more libertarians. Everything we do, everything we're striving to achieve has, in my humble opinion, suffered from a lack of 3 things: money, aptitude, and manpower. That's easy to remember as well. It's an acronym, MAM. It means we've lacked the capacity to achieve our goals. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough manpower. And frequently the manpower we do have isn't proficient, or isn't able to devote the time necessary to become proficient. Now, money can solve that problem. If you have enough money, you can buy expertise. But where do you get the money? Well, money comes from people. First, you need members, the people who consider themselves a part of your cause. They join. As their commitment deepens, their wallet opens wider, and the funds come in. It's simple mathematics, really. More members means more money. More libertarians will give us more manpower. More libertarians will give us more talent. More libertarians would give us even greater funding. More libertarians is the key. In fact, I can think of nothing more imperative. If you only remember 2 words from my talk tonight, I hope you will remember these 2 words: more libertarians. When we're running someone for office, the #1 goal should be to persuade, convert, and recruit more libertarians. We should be bigger at the end of the campaign than when we started. When we're in between campaigns and looking for something to do, we should be marketing, engaging in outreach, and spreading the good news to others so that we can win more libertarians to our cause. First and foremost, the goal should be in front of us. More libertarians will lead to greater success faster. So what are the first 2 words?
More libertarians.
I hope you will remember those 2 words. Now, can you remember what the second set of words was? Second set of 2 words. Very good.
Everywhere.
If you've been around for a while, you probably have heard these words before. Perry Willis, while National Director of the Libertarian Party during the 90s, came up with this strategic objective. Perry Willis is not coincidentally the co-founder of the Downsized DC Foundation, for which I work today. The concept of Operation Everywhere is also remarkably simple and easy to define. Everyone, everywhere, every day is exposed to libertarian ideas. Now imagine a world where Operation Everywhere was a reality for us. When people turn on the TV, they would get exposed to a serious, respectful discussion of libertarian ideas. When they flip on the radio, they would hear about libertarian concepts. When they would open the newspaper, they would read the libertarian perspective. On billboards, bumper stickers, on the internet, and in conversation with friends, they would keep coming across our ideas. Does that sound crazy? Impossible? So why can't libertarianism be the same way? I believe it can. First, we need to have more libertarians to spread the message, to create and buy the advertising, and to do the interviews. Now, at this point, some of you might be saying, gee, Jim, that sounds nice and all, but why is Operation Everywhere so important? Well, contrary to what divorce lawyers might tell you, familiarity does not breed contempt. Most marriages fail because of a lack of common goals, or bad communication, or even the exposure of an affair. But familiarity is an old song from your teenage years. Familiarity is the place you call home. Familiarity is old friends and memories you share. Libertarianism needs to be familiar. And how does it become familiar? By repetition. Thomas Paine said, time makes more converts than reason alone. In other words, it's not the brilliance of our argument that's going to win the day. People resist those things that aren't familiar to them. Now let me share with you some words of wisdom. They were sent to me by a guy named Roger Austin of Florida. They come from a book written in 1885 called Hints to Intending Advertisers by Thomas Smith. So keep in mind, it's a little bit dated here, it's 1885. The first time a man looks at an advertisement, he does not see it. The second time, he does not notice it. The third time, he is conscious of its existence. The fourth time, he faintly remembers having seen it before. The fifth time, he reads it. The sixth time, he turns up his nose at it. The seventh time, he reads it through and says, oh, brother. The eighth time, he says, here's that confounded thing again. The ninth time, he wonders if it amounts to anything. The 10th time, he will ask his neighbor if he has tried it. The 11th time, he wonders how advertisers make it pay. The 12th time, he thinks it must be a good thing. The 13th time, he thinks perhaps it might be worth something. The 14th time, he remembers that he wanted such a thing for a long time. The 15th time, he is tantalized because he cannot afford to buy it. The 16th time, he thinks he will buy it someday. The 17th time, he makes a memorandum of it. The 18th time, he swears at his poverty. The 19th time, he counts his money carefully. The 20th time he sees it, he buys it, or instructs his wife to do so. 1885, folks. And I would add, then he begins telling his friends what a wonderful thing he's acquired. Have most people heard libertarian ideas 20 times?
No.
But you see, Smith is talking about just buying one thing, not an entire belief system. Is 20 times really sufficient for people to hear about libertarianism? Human nature is such that people are victims to the latest idea they've heard. If they heard libertarianism 20 times 20 years ago, they won't be very libertarian today. Churches understand this.